rainy day. Let's do something fun. Let's install some new LED lights. You know, the worst part about having plastic headlights is they get cloudy, but it's always a great excuse to upgrade to LED headlights. Recently, I had upgraded my headlights to these JW speaker clones, and it was a pretty simple installation. And for the most part, they're pretty good. However, I noticed that these did not have built-in the anti-flicker resistor, and I thought it did at the time I bought it. So I was a little disappointed, but as for a headlight, it's actually pretty good. And for the price, it wasn't that bad. Retail was right around 85 bucks. But I had an opportunity to try out a new version, so I'm going to give it a shot. These lights came with the Halo daytime runners, and the Halo will run white during that mode, and it also turns amber if you hook up to your turn signal. And you can hook it up straight over to the wiring on this one here for both the daytime runners and for the turn signals. You can also wire the Halo straight to your fuse box. This way you can activate the daytime runners just by turning the keys on like how it normally would be. Instructions are pretty simple, and again, the light's pretty good, but I generally run with my headlights on anyway, so the Halos didn't really do anything for me. And the flickering of the lights on occasion was kind of a nuisance. So again, upgrading to different lights. But these, not too bad for those JW speaker clones. This particular set comes from Amazon, from a company called Audexen, A-U-D-E-X-E-N, and I'll provide a link in the description. These are kind of unique. It looks like they might be a little bit brighter, and they also offer daytime runner capabilities. The wire is there, but it is not set up for turn signals. But as I said before, I generally don't care about the daytime runner, so I'll probably hook up the Halo to the turn signal since I already have it wired for that anyways. Inside the box comes with some instructions and some specifications. Also includes the H13 to H4 harness that you normally find in lights designed for Jeep. And also comes with the newer harness for the JL series. Lights are also plastic lens. Again, it has the Halo, H4 connector, and the Halo connection. Again, I'm going to wire this over to my turn signal. This is a little different from the other one that I have, where it actually has two purge valves. And in case you're not familiar with those, sometimes lights can get a little moisture on the inside, so you have to be able to bleed it out. So you would actually undo the plastic clips and turn on the lights, let the heat go ahead and evaporate the moisture, and you put the caps back on. For the benefit of those who's never actually installed one or taken your grill off your Jeep, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through it. You have a bunch of these little clips here, and it's located all up through the front, and all you do is get a screwdriver and lift up this particular press rivet, and you're good to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of those to be pulled out. Once that's done, you can go ahead and grab the entire front and pull it forward. Once you pull it forward, we'll have to disconnect these lamps on both sides. Now to remove this light, all you do is just grab onto it and rotate it to the down position. And it comes right off. Some reviewers actually remove this connector, but since I'm not changing the bulb out, I see no sense in doing that. It's so much quicker just to be able to rotate it right on out. We'll do that to both sides. To remove the light, you need to remove this chrome bezel. And there's 4 screws that hold this chrome bezel in place. There's one here, and 2 down below. These use a T15 Torx. And in case you didn't know, right here, and on the left light will be on the other side, this is your elevation adjustment here. This will raise the light up and down. There is no side-to-side adjustment or windows adjustment, just elevation, up and down. Be real careful with the screws, because if they fall down, it can get lost somewhere anywhere in here. I've done it one time and it took me about 20 minutes to find it. This right here is the H13 to H4 harness that was provided by the manufacturer. Put some electrical tape around this connection just to give it a little bit more waterproofness, I guess. On this particular light, you have two add-on wires, a red one, which is for your daytime runners, and the green one, which is for your turn signal. This is the only one I'm using right now. Both those wires run down and come up over here at the little turn signal light that we took out earlier. And as you see, I have a splice going in to the outside white wire. That's for the turn signal. The inside white wire would be your daytime runners, but I'm currently not using them, so I have the wire just kind of tucked over here and taped over. My plan was to originally run this all the way across the fuse panel, so I have true daytime runners, but not really necessary, so I just left the wire in there. So one of the things that bothered me about this set of original lights I had, these LEDs, were that, you know, I knew the quality was the same as the JW speaker. Obviously, it's a copy, but I expected the quality control just to be a little bit better. I'm not sure if you can really see this in video here, but you see that little speck right there, and that speck right there, and there's another one kind of on top here. If you can see it in the video, there's a speckle right there. That's dust, dark dust, packaging dust maybe, but it's on the inside of that lens. Can't really clean that out. So it's on both of them, and I noticed them when I took them out of the packaging. And while it doesn't interfere with the function, I just kind of know it's there, and my OCD doesn't really allow for it. So it's one of the reasons why I'm pulling these off. Great light. It just kind of bothers me. I know, it's stupid, right? I will say it was worth the extra bit of money, because these newer ones are clean. Very clean. Looking at it, I thought it was actually glass until I picked it up. As for comparison, the right gun safe is lit up by the right headlamp. It's pretty bright. I have the left headlamp in my hand, and if I run it by it, ooh, dang, it's bright. You can see it's actually quite a bit brighter. Alright, just a quick observation. This particular H13 to H4 connector came with my original light, and I had a little problem with getting this installed onto my Jeep because this clip connector was a little long, a little bit too far forward. I had to actually get a razor blade and shave it back a little bit for it to be able to click onto the harness and stay. Biggest gripe was really is this plastic frame that's around it. Not exactly sure why they put it there. Doesn't really need it for waterproofing, but it just really kind of interferes. So it was difficult to shave that down a little bit, and but I was able to do it, and I was able to get it to click, but I couldn't get the red safety latch to lock on to keep it from backing back out if something pressed on it by accident. The harness on this new one is a correct harness. There's no frame around it, and it's short and set back, so when this thing went into the Jeep, it clicked on and latched. Audible click, and locked. So yeah, worth paying a little bit more for the quality. Connectors in place. Once again, put a stream of electrical tape around it, just kind of in help on the waterproofness. This was my turn signal wire, and this is my daytime runner that I'm not going to be using, so we'll just leave it out for now. But that hookup is complete. We'll get the light put back inside the housing, and then we'll start on the other side. This was the turn signal light that sat down here at the bottom of the grill. Up here you have 3 wires, a black on the outside, white center, white outer. White outer is your turn signal. And if you want to use the daytime runners, that would be the middle one. But again, on your light switch, you will have to turn it to the first notch, the accessory or the driving notch, to run the daytime runners. Or you can run the wire all the way across to your fuse box. Or you can run a jumper, and this time you can actually have actual true daytime runners that turn on with the key. All right, this is a little noteworthy. So on the headlight bezel, you have 1, 2, and 3 mounting points that should mate up with your light. 1 over here, 2 over there, and 1 over here. Those mounting points were a little oversized, so they didn't quite fit inside there. I was able to get one to fit in this bottom one because it's larger, but it didn't quite fit. So I used this bottom one as a center, and then just kind of pressed the light on, and then took the bezel and screwed the bezel in place. And the bezel held the light in place. And if you look at my mounting points here, it's a little bent up. It should be flat. A little bent there, a little bent there. This one's flat because that was the bottom side. That was mounted first. The new light that I just installed over there, it mounted up perfectly. So all my points there, and here, the bezel, it's all nice and flat. So flat that I actually took it back off, took my needle nose pliers and actually flattened them back so I can mount it back up just for, for aesthetics. So yeah, again, another step on the quality side. Alright, so the lights are reinstalled, tested, everything's working good. Now, only thing you need to do is put the grill back on. First, the locator pin, right here. That will locate right in front of the radiator to help you line up for these 4 clips here. Then, above the turn signal, you have a clip and a clip. Once those are all pressed in place, the only thing left to do is put in those 6 plastic rivets that you pulled out earlier. They are reusable, so we just put them right back in. So we'll get that done here pretty quick. And but before you snap on the top portion with the lights, you're going to go ahead and remount the turn signal light back on. And again, that was a rotated down. So now we're going to stick it in with the wires facing down, and then rotate them to the outside to latch them back in place. So while I'm putting my Jeep back together, let me just kind of go over what's in my head here. There are a lot of really good high-end LED lights out there, and they're going to set you back somewhere around the $300 range. And as Jeep guys, just empty every pocket, we're always trying to look for some cheaper way to do things that will work just as good. Now, the first set of lamps that I had, those were not bad. Again, low on quality control, but they're cheap. They're $60 and they're to your door. This set here by this company, it's quite a bit better. Now, you are talking about a little bit more expensive light. It's $160, and right now on their Amazon page there's a 10% off coupon, and I'm sure they have specials running all the time. But these lights are, I think, if not twice, maybe 3 times as good. The clarity of the plastic is better. The beam is quite a bit brighter. Things fit. All the connections snap in place like it's supposed to be. It's just a lot nicer quality. Installation is quite a bit easier. Daytime running lights, really kind of nice. And the fact that they also include the wiring harness for the JL series is a big plus too. So you JL guys, great. You can just go ahead and plug it right in there. And also has instructions on how to set up the daytime runners for it as well. And these also fit Harleys, standard H4 connections. So
I do like these a lot better. I mean, for the extra money, I'm still way below, half price compared to GW speakers or any of the other really nice LEDs out there. And hoping that these qualities will hold up. And if I get 4 or 5 years out of it, well worth it. So I think it was a good investment. So going back to my original question, are there any Chinese lamps out there that are worth a darn? This one here is pretty good. So if you are looking for a new type of LED or getting one for the first time, consider it. It's 150 bucks, and they look very, very nice. Until later, enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll have one more wrap up talking about those guys who are running the JLs and include some pictures and instructions. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I know this is a long video. I was trying to be as detailed as possible, and I hope you learned something. And if you have any comments, just throw it down. Otherwise, check out their site on Amazon and try out a pair of the lights. Thanks. JL owners, they do include instructions on how to wire to the factory daytime runners. It does look like you have to remove one of the fenders, but it's a one-wire installation, so it looks pretty simple. On their Amazon page, they also have a bracket that fits behind the light that allows your light to have three-way adjustments instead of just up and down like on RJKs. So check them out on their Amazon page and see what they have to offer for you. Enjoy the quality of these lights. They look pretty good. Thanks.